Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, listeners. Jess and I are here to take a stance on one of the great holiday debates. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Find out what we think on episode 62 of the podcast. Cue the music. Welcome, everyone, to the Entertainment Buffet podcast. I am one of your hosts, Brandon Prosek.
And I'm another one of your hosts, Jessica Kwazz.
And yeah, Jess, it's the holidays. How are the holidays going?
Great! I love the holidays. I go all out. I decorated my house the day after Thanksgiving. I've been ready to go for a while. I've been doing a lot of shopping, spending way too much money, but hey, it's for people I love, so that's great. And just eating delicious Christmas cookies and good food.
Awesome. And Jess, don't forget, at the end of the episode, we're going to announce the winner of our holiday raffle for both a $20 and $30 Amazon gift card. Woo!
Woo! That's right. At the end of this episode, we will be giving away presents.
Yes. Don't skip to the end either. Don't be a Grinch or a Scrooge. Listen to this episode, and then you get the big payoff of who wins. So, Jess, before we get started on this epic holiday debate and what our stance is on this great debate, let's just jump right in. Let's not waste any time. What have you been watching lately, Jess?
So I have been watching more movies than shows. I recently saw Boy Erased and Widows in theaters. Boy Erased was really intense, really good. It's sort of an awards buzzy movie, and I think it's definitely garnered that for a reason. It's a very intense watch, but really well done. Widows was amazing. I loved it. I think it's really sad that not enough people saw this movie. I think that's for like a few different reasons, but I think mostly like the movie was weirdly marketed as like an awards contender movie because it kind of has the packaging as one. It has Viola Davis, Stephen McQueen directed it, and he directed 12 Years a Slave. So there are like award winners a part of this movie, and it's fantastic, but it's more of a really, really well done heist action movie than an awards movie. So I think it was just marketed really weird, and I don't think they knew what audience to sell it to, because unfortunately it didn't do that well. I think it made back its budget, but after that I don't think it made a ton of money. But it's fantastic. The acting is great. The cinematography is beautiful. Viola Davis is a queen among us peasants. She's fantastic. Just badass in this. And just the action sequences are really well done too. And I like a good heist movie, of course. So it was really cool to watch one that was featuring all women. That was really neat to see. I can't talk about how much I love this movie enough. Daniel Kaluuya is in it, and I hadn't seen him in anything since Get Out. And his character in Widows is so different from his character in Get Out. It is wild. He is such a good villain in Widows. He was giving me like Javier Bardem and No Country for Old Men vibes, just like really like sick and twisted and very scary. So he was amazing. And the Golden Globe nomination just recently came out, and it got nothing, which is kind of bullshit because I think it was great for very many reasons. But mostly it's just sad like not enough people saw it. So if it's still playing near you, make it a priority to go see Widows. It's amazing. And then another movie I watched was A Wrinkle in Time, which is now on Netflix. I'd been wanting to see this movie for a while. I never got to see it in theaters. It was a wild journey. It was a lot. It's a kids movie. It's a Disney movie, and it's based on a kid's book. But the movie itself is kind of wild in the visuals, in the acting. Reese Witherspoon, Mindy Kaling, and Oprah Winfrey are wild as the misses. They're really fun. I like Ava DuVernay, so that's why I saw it. And it's just like kind of like one of those fun, charming movies you just watch and it kind of makes you feel good. So I did enjoy it. And then in terms of shows, the only show I've been watching recently is Homecoming, which is something that we kind of briefly mentioned in our last episode about podcasts. Homecoming is based on a Gimlet podcast. It just got recently released as a Amazon Prime show, and it's really interesting. I didn't listen to the podcast. I probably will go back and listen to it. So I have no idea what's going on. Like, it is one of those shows that you watch and you're like, I really like it, but I have no idea what's happening right now. But I'm still gonna keep going. It's interesting and it's shot really cool. It's shot in like an old noir movie style, which I really like. But plot wise, I have no idea what the hell's going on. So hopefully I'll find out. But if I don't, that's fine because it's pretty cool.
Nice. I also have mainly been watching movies, some of which is just stuff I've seen before. But as far as like one show I did watch on Netflix is Bumpin' Mics with Dave Attell and Jeff Ross. This is just a 3-episode little special that they do where they do a 2-man stand-up. I recently, this last month or so, hosted a bad movie night with some friends. I saw the movie Phone Booth.
Oh my god. Was that your first time watching that movie?
I had seen good portions on TV, but like this is the first time from beginning to end. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, this movie from 2002 with Colin Farrell, right when he was like first becoming famous, like, and Kiefer Sutherland is the voice of this man who calls Colin Farrell on the phone booth and has a sniper rifle on him and is pretty much like, do what I say or I'm going to shoot you. And it's pretty much the whole film takes place like on that block and in the phone booth. And it's it's bad. It's not well made. Like the idea, I liked the idea. I would have loved as a writer to challenge myself to make a single location setting with such a high stakes concept, even though it's low as far as not a lot of, there's no explosions, there's no car chases, there's no shootout scenes. It's just all in this phone booth and people talking to him on the phone and to him. But yeah, you could totally tell like early 2000s film style, like with some of the editing and the shooting and like the even just Colin Farrell. He's such a good actor. That's what some people forget. But he had a bad string of movies where everyone thought he was just a shitty actor. No, his acting's not that bad. It's just he made terrible choices, because I'm pretty sure he did that film, and then within that year or so, I think it was about '03, he did Daredevil, where he was the villain Bullseye, and like that, and like maybe another film, like all right in a row, where it's just like, oof, this Colin Farrell guy, his career is gonna go. But yeah, no, he's a great actor. If you don't believe me, see In Bruges, see Seven Psychopaths, tons of other movies where he actually can act.
You know another movie Colin Farrell's really good in?
What's that?
Widows. He's so good in Widows.
I forgot.
Go
he's
see
in
Widows. He is in Widows, and he's good in Widows.
There's
You're
so
right.
many
Like,
people in that movie.
there's so many people in that movie. But yes, he's in it. He's good. You're right. We didn't take him seriously because he was like a pretty boy who made terrible choices. But I think we've come around. I think we understand now.
Yes. And lastly, this is a Christmas movie that, oh, good God, I'm so glad I watched it. I used to watch this so much as a kid. I don't think it even needed to be Christmas to watch this movie. Jingle All the Way.
Classic.
My God, I must have worn out my VHS copy of this back in the day. As a kid, I loved this movie. But now watching it older, there's a lot of dark shit in it. And Jess, I had added, like, it was like a mini extra Christmas bonus, because I'm pretty sure it was within the last year or so I bought the DVD, like it was in the $5 bin, but I just hadn't actually sat down and watched it. Apparently, I bought the director's cut.
Oh.
There's a
Oh.
director's cut of Jingle All the Way, which they're like, do you want to watch the theatrical version or the director's cut? I was like, director's cut? What kind of question is that, DVD? And there's some added scenes that, like, you can tell why they're cut, so it makes it that much more entertaining. But also, there's one sequence I want to talk about in particular. There's a brief montage when Jingle All the Way, for those who maybe are blanking on what the movie is, Arnold Schwarzenegger plays a really shitty dad who forgot to get his son this popular toy Turbo Man that comes out, and he's trying to run around on Christmas Eve and buy it, but it's out at every store. And Sinbad is in it. It's ridiculous because he just can't find this fucking toy because he's a shitty fucking father. There's this scene, it's a montage where he's running from all the different stores and all the different like store workers are just laughing at him. Like, Turbo Man, those sold out weeks ago. And I'm pretty sure the original music they had in it was like Rocking Around the Christmas Tree. It was something very like upbeat and fun. Well, in the director's cut, they put like this slow, depressing, jazzy song and like added more clips to the montage that just made it look like, is this trying to be a drama? Like, this father's just like, oh God, what did I do? Why did I do this? I'm regretting my life choices. It's so bad.
My goodness.
And I was just like, why does this film have a director's cut? I had to look if this director did anything else, and maybe this was his only film. He's like, look, I need to release the film I wanted to make. Like,
Yeah, who directed Jingle All the Way? Do we know that? Do we know who this
to the
person
phones, as my friend Charlie Duber likes to say in his podcast. It was directed by Brian Levant. And he also directed, the Flintstones, the live-action movie.
Oh, I remember that one.
He directed Are We There Yet? With Ice Cube.
Interesting.
Yeah. And Spy Next Door, some Scooby-Doo TV movies.
Huh.
Beethoven, that movie with the fucking dog. So clearly a tour de force of directing credits here. A lot of TV shows back in the 80s, like Bad News Bears, Mork and Mindy, Happy Days, the new Leave It to Beaver. So clearly this guy needed his director's cut of Jingle All the Way. Oh, good God. So, yeah, Jingle All the Way. If you haven't caught it for some reason, you need to do yourself a favor. It's probably in like the $3 to $5 bin at your local store. Pick it up, watch it. There's a part where Arnold Schwarzenegger literally punches a reindeer in the face. There's parts with Sinbad. There's it was one of Phil Hartman's last roles before he died. It has a lot of stuff, and also just like dark stuff for a kids movie that like I totally did not realize. One including a bomb that in
What?
Sinbad's character plays a mailman, and he's going crazy trying to find the toy for his son too. And he like takes out a package. He's like, "This is a bomb," and everyone's like freaking out because I think
Oh
in
my
the
goodness,
90s there
it's
was
so
like
dark.
I know, but then the thing is, he runs away to distract people, and it does blow up. And he just goes, "This is a sick world we live in with sick people." And like obviously no one dies with the bomb. It's like a comedic, like the guy who's holding the bomb thing is just like his face is all black and his hair is standing up. But oh, good God. You need to do yourself a favor and pick this up.
I'm getting that director's cut for Christmas. Like, everyone's getting it in their stocking. You best believe.
Abso-fucking-lutely they are. Uh, but Jess, anyway, that's what I've been watching. Should we dive into the main event, if you will?
Let's do it. Let's dive in like Bruce Willis dives through elevator shafts in Die Hard. He doesn't really dive through. Well, he does kind of do a dive ish. At when it's a
You
very
were
tricky
so
maneuver.
pumped for that transition, and then you second guessed yourself. Just,
Well, diving makes it sound like he like jumps in head first, but he doesn't. He like swings his body. So okay, let's swing into this topic like Bruce Willis swings throughout elevator shafts in Die Hard.
yeah. So, Jess, before we get started, would you like to kind of talk about this whole like debate that people have been having for like I feel like it's been like the last 5 years or so on the internet in regards to this being a Christmas movie or not?
Yeah, so I'd listeners, Brandon, I don't know what like your relationship to the movie Die Hard is, but mine has been that I've always thought of it as a Christmas movie. Always. Since I was pretty much a kid, well, old enough to see Die Hard, my family and I would watch it around the holidays every year. And it was just no question, it was a Christmas moment. It's a Christmas movie. But like you said, within the last few years, the internet has, as it always does, becomes a place for fighting. Becomes a place for us to communicate how everyone's always wrong all the time. And people out there are very hell-bent on the idea that Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. And I gotta say, I don't understand that at all. I don't see it. I don't get it. So I am definitely heavily on the debate that it is, without question, a Christmas movie. But there's a lot of them out there. Maybe you haven't seen the movie. Maybe y'all didn't watch it around the holidays like my family and I did. But they don't think it's a Christmas movie. And I think that is a travesty.
I guarantee there's been plenty of BuzzFeed articles or things on Collider or Slash Film or a lot of these film sites where they have certain debates on things, and it's just something that some people are very passionate one way or the other, and I'm not dismissing people's passion, but it is just a fun topic. I think it, no matter what, the movie is a classic, whether you want to consider it a Christmas classic or just one of the best action movies of all time. Without a doubt, Die Hard, I've watched it ever since I was a kid too. It was not something that we typically watched at Christmas specifically. It was just one of those movies. It would always be on TNT or USA or TBS or like whatever. Like it would be on TV and we're flipping and like, oh, Die Hard's on. Of course we got to watch this, like without question. And then obviously like years later when I got it on DVD and this whole debate kind of started, the last like Christmas or two, like I really like, I think it was like last Christmas, we were kind of deciding what Christmas movie. I was like, oh, obviously the best Christmas movie ever, like we need to watch Die Hard. And of course some of my family joked like, it's not a Christmas movie, Brandon, like it just happens to take place on Christmas, blah 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 blah. I was like, no, like it's a Christmas movie. And we watched it, and I'm gonna see if I can do it again, like either Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. I want to watch Die Hard with the family. It's just a great movie. So yeah, shall we, like you said, Jess, we both are on the side of it is a Christmas movie. I think we're going to bring up some many valid points, but listeners, I'd like to challenge you. If you are on the side that you feel that Die Hard is not a Christmas movie and you disagree with the things we say, please leave us a review, tweet at us, email us, entertainmentbuffet@gmail.com. We'd love to discuss it with you, and maybe we can follow up with this on a future episode. We both recently watched Die Hard again, and we did our homework and studying and really brought some analytical thoughts to it. This is not just us like, it's Christmas movie just because.
No,
Like,
I was on my high school debate team. I know how to form arguments with facts, guys. This is not the fake news podcast. This is the Entertainment Buffet podcast.
Exactly. But please, we would love to hear your comments, suggestions, questions, responses. What do you think? Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? But here is our stance on it. Let's jump in. Jess, let's just get one of the first things out of the way. The movie takes place on Christmas Eve during a holiday party.
It's Christmas Eve in L.A.
California.
Is Daddy coming home soon? Well, we'll see what Santa and Mommy can do, okay?
And New York cop John McClane has come to see his wife.
I missed you.
Instead, he's going to have to save her.
Yes. It's on the holiday.
Yeah, it's an obvious go-to for Christmas movies that it takes place on or around Christmas Eve / Christmas Day. And actually, technically, this does both. So I think that's right there. Boom.
Right.
An easy one.
It's on the calendar of the holiday. And how many holiday movies do you watch that aren't on the holiday, right? That's a whole argument. But a lot of people will say it's not a Christmas movie because just because it takes place on Christmas. Okay, yes, that's true. But let's just go a little further with that argument. The argument of Die Hard not being a Christmas movie, it's just a movie that takes place during Christmas. Okay, that's not true. Because not only does it take place on Christmas Eve, the Christmas party, the whole thing is a major plot device in the story. It's not just like John McClane walked into a Christmas party on accident. No. He flew from New York to LA to be with his family on Christmas Eve. If it wasn't Christmas, John McClane wouldn't be there. So, therefore, Christmas is a plot device of the story. How many non-Christmas movies do you know where Christmas is a plot device of the movie? Boom.
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 Exactly.
Boom.
There's going to be a lot of boom.
Yeah.
And
A lot of
our
mic
Die
drops.
A lot of mic drops, but don't actually drop our mics because that would be awful.
No.
But yes, like you said, takes place during an office Christmas party. There's decorations, there's a tree, there's people just enjoying time with their coworkers. And like you said, it was the whole reason that John McClane was brought there. And essentially the entire thing of the movie, John McClane, yes, he wants to stay alive, but he wants to protect his wife and he wants to get home to his family. So that's it's not just I want to save the day just because. There are personal stakes with it, with his wife being one of the people captive there. So there's multiple reasons. You could have just done the movie that he wants to get home to his family. Yes, but you have the addition that his wife is at the party as a hostage. So he not only wants to get home to his family, but also save part of his family that are there. So it's all about, in the end, he wants to bring the family together like they should be.
To that point, Brandon, let's just really quickly, let's just think of this connection. It's a Wonderful Life, A Christmas Story, Miracle on 34th Street, Home Alone. What do all those movies have in common? Family. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, family. Die Hard, family. Christmas movies revolve around family.
Exactly. Boom.
Literally, any good Christmas movie, family is at the heart of the story. You're trying to fight your way to get that Christmas well. Have a happy, jolly holiday with your family and loved ones. And that's exactly what John McClane is trying to do. Like you said, he's not just being a hero. He's trying to save his wife and make amends to his kids who he has not been there for, and just trying to have a really nice Christmas, really good holiday. And here comes Hans Gruber ruining the day for him, and now he's got to
Scrooge.
What a Scrooge! Really, Hans Gruber is a Scrooge. But really, not only does he go, like I said, New York to LA because it's Christmas, he also shows up at the airport with a teddy bear, Christmas gift for his daughter, ready to go. He is so ready to meet his kids, but first he's got to say hi to his wife, and then meet all of her coworkers at a holiday party. Christmas is such a plot device of the whole movie. Like,
Yes.
so no, it's not just like a movie that takes place during Christmas. Christmas is seeped into every corner of this movie.
Yes. And I think the reason why Hans Gruber and his men decided to have this whole robbery and this whole hostage situation was because he knew that the cops and a lot of things would be all disrupted by Christmas. I mean, spoilers alert. I mean, if you haven't seen Die Hard, do yourself a favor. I'm sure you could find it at a store, on Amazon. It's you gotta see it. But there's a part later in the movie where the FBI are like, well, we need to cut the power to like really throw off the criminals. And the guy's like, well, you got to turn off like a whole city grid. It's like, we can't. It's Christmas Eve.
They've got to take out a whole city grid. We're talking 10 square blocks.
10 blocks, Gene.
Yeah.
Johnson, that's crazy. It's Christmas Eve, man. There's thousands of people.
You have to
We
go
can't-
wider.
Look,
The
I
mayor will
can't- I
have
need
my
authorization
ass.
for that.
Authorization? How about the United States fucking government?
Hey, lose the grid or you lose your job.
I think that's why he wanted to do the whole heist during that time, because the cops would be especially thrown off, because a lot of them were probably at home and got called in to go to this whole hostage situation. They're not wanting to be there. They're not going to be on their A game. So like, it's a psychological thing that Hans Gruber's probably thinking with this situation.
That is a genius argument, because I've never thought of it that way. Honestly, like, you just blew my mind. Like, yes, like, because he's an expert villain, and a story is not going to give away the villain's tricks. So you're probably right. He probably was like, everyone will be super distracted. I can fuck shit up easily today. Ah, yes.
Also, let's get this out of the way. A lot of Christmas movies will have green or red. This movie has plenty of red. I mean, some of it is in the form of blood. Sure, it may not be family friendly, but you know, blood happens. Teach kids young. Be careful. Like, there's even a part where John McClane makes a Christmas joke where he kills one of the first terrorists, quote unquote, and robbers. The Carl, his brother, he kills him, breaks his neck, and writes on his shirt in blood, "Ho, ho, ho, now I have a machine gun," and puts a Santa hat on him, and like sends him down the elevator to Hans Gruber and the other terrorists.
Now I have a machine gun. Ho, ho, ho.
But yeah, there's plenty of red. Like I said, I know it's in the form of blood, but it's one of the Christmas colors. It's all over the place. Whether it's John McClane bleeding or like walking in the glass and it's all over his foot, plenty of red, festive colors. It's just one of the things. So, Jess, what's another point that comes up for you?
So going back to Hans Gruber, expert villain, expertly played by not Gary Oldman, Alan Rickman. See, throwback to our old listeners. Hey guys. The whole time I was watching it, I was like, Alan Rickman, he's dead. Gary Oldman, not dead. Okay. I don't know. Anyway, Hans Gruber.
Deep cut.
He has a very sweet Christmas angel baby moment, okay? Like, and what is a Christmas movie if not having your bad guy, your Grinch of the movie, have a nice redeeming moment? Okay, here we go. Hans is taking the whole Nakatomi building hostage. The whole party is hostage. They've been hostage for hours. They've been standing. They've been sitting on the floor. It's very uncomfortable. A lot of them are super drunk or coked out, and they're just like standing in a room. It's very terrible, very awful. Well, John McClane's wife is negotiating on behalf of the hostages, and she's talking to Hans, and she's like, look, Hans, one of our hostages is super pregnant. She's really uncomfortable. Her back is hurting her. Can we just, like, please give her a nice place to stay? And Hans says, I'll have my men bring a couch out for her to sit on. Will that do? Aw, like, Hans, like, that's so nice. Like, he had, like, a nice, like, he's like, it's Christmas, she's pregnant. Like, let's bring the girl out a couch. Like, Aw, like there's just like a nice wholesome holiday like redemption moment where even the villain is like, yes, we can be human, like the pregnant woman can sit on a couch, like so nice. Because really, if he was like a villain who was attacking not on Christmas, he might have just popped that pregnant woman off, but no, he's like, let's let her sit on the couch. Like, very nice, very Grinch with like a heart that grew 3 times its size kind of moment. And I don't know, I just think like that's so sweet. Like, what a nice redemption holiday moment. Also, sidebar, John McClane's wife's name is Holly, which is a Christmas herb. How many non-Christmas movies do you know have some of their main characters named after Christmas themes? I'm sorry, the name Holly as the main character's wife is just giving me like very Hallmark Channel movie vibes, because all those white women are named Holly on those. So like,
or Noelle.
yeah, or Noelle. Yes, exactly. Like, it's either Noelle or Holly. Her name is Holly. It's a Christmas movie.
Yeah. Unknown tiny fact: Holly's middle name was Jolly. I'm just kidding. Holly Jolly Gennaro Klein. They're really on the nose with it. But it's so true. I never noticed that until Jess told me of that point. Before we recorded, she's like, "Yeah, her name's Holly." I was like, "Holy shit! How did I not see that?" Lived almost 27 years and didn't notice that.
Like, seriously, when I noticed that, I was like, there's just, the debate is over. Like, there are no white women in non-Christmas movies that are named Holly or Noelle. Like, this is it. Like, this is the deal breaker. Like, yes, like, it's like naming her Mrs. Claus. Like, yes.
Now, the last thing McClane wants, think, damn it, think, is to be a hero.
Where's Holly? Hey, Tucker! Where?
Another huge point, Jess, that we both noticed is the soundtrack. It is either just straight up Christmas music, like famous Christmas songs, or it's songs that are kind of just like with jingle bells kind of sounding. Like even parts where the men are first taking over the building, it's kind of just like ching ching ching, like just little joyous music thrown out. And I know that's kind of like the juxtaposition of like these violent things with such joyful music, but it's happy music. It's Christmas music. What do you watch movies or shows that are non-Christmas things that they just throw Christmas stuff in there unless it's a Christmas themed episode or thing? No.
Exactly. The first song of the entire movie, just a few minutes in, is Christmas in Hollis by Run DMC, which is a fantastic Christmas rap song. If it's not on your Christmas playlist, go put it on right now. It's great. But like, so that's like what sets the tone is a Christmas song, but all of the soundtrack is Christmas music. Like you said, like how many movies or shows only exclusively use Christmas music, but is not a Christmas movie?
Yeah. I would like the listeners to name some stuff for us. It's just how it is. Christmas movies have Christmas songs, and this is one of them. Boom.
Boom.
One thing I want to bring up, Jess, is the relationship between Al and the main character, John McClane. Now, for those who are wondering who Al is the cop on the outside who starts talking to John McClane on the radio in the building, and they don't know each other. Al is an LA cop, and Bruce Willis, John McClane, is from New York. He's a New York cop, and for a long time doesn't know that John McClane is a cop himself. But they form this bond that without even meeting, they believe each other and just like kind of share similar just ways that they think things should go about and the way the police are handling the situation, and also provide moral support. And even in a very touching part, like Bruce Willis pretty much asks Al that like, hey, if I don't make it, you need to tell my wife I'm sorry and tell her she knows that I love her, but like tell her that I'm sorry, and I never fucking say that. And like it's this moment where it's just it's this action movie just kind of doing a little emotional beat, but also by the end of the movie, when they finally do meet in person, they see each other and it's just like this joyous moment, and they hug, and they've just instantly become best friends over this whole experience. And like that's one thing that, if you happen to maybe not have family, or you don't have certain things you do on the holidays, like it can bring friends closer together, or maybe a way you can make new friends, and this is one of those moments.
Exactly. The holidays are all about embracing people, making people feel connected, making people feel included, forging new friendships, understanding the people around you, and that's exactly what John McClane and Al do.
Absolutely.
Al, do you copy?
Hey, Roy, how you feeling?
Pretty fucking unappreciated, Al.
Hey, look, I love you. So do a lot of the other guys. So you hang in there, man. You hear me? You hang in there.
Yeah, thanks, partner.
So, I mean, we're winding down here. I feel like we've laid out plenty of reasons, but I think one of the biggest reasons, most, if not all, Christmas movies have a happy ending. And I feel like we've talked about this movie's about family, about friends coming together, about just overall everything becoming better than it was before. And I think that's what happens. Like, Die Hard has a happy ending. It ends with, we just said a little bit ago, John McClane embracing his new friend Al. He has a new friend with Argyle, the limo driver, who like was loyal to him, locked in the basement, and still drives him and John McClane's wife Holly home. Him and Holly were fighting in the beginning of the film, and they're just so happy to be together and that they survived this. They realize what's important is not the little bickerings over like names or work or things like that. It's about family. They embrace, they hug, they kiss with Christmas music playing, and also there's kind of like debris from explosion that's falling like snow. It's just like, what a... that is a Christmas ending if I've ever heard it. Everything coming together how it should be. I mean, I feel like if there was ever a time to say boom, it'd be right now. Boom.
I think we are just right. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I really am just seeing Christmas movie all around. For me, there's more arguments that it is a Christmas movie. There's very few arguments that it's not. But again, listeners, if you have arguments that it's not a Christmas movie, please let me know, because I am willing to be open-minded about this, but I don't see it.
Yeah. I used to always just like think, oh, it's just because it takes place on Christmas, but no, like when you break down all these things that Jess has come up with, that we notice, that we're bringing to your attention, I mean, really, what we should be saying is "Merry Boom, Miss."
Yes.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfuckers! Boom. Like seriously. It just, like I said, everything comes together between the soundtrack and the little themes, the ending. What more do you need? It's sure, I understand it's violent, it's not for kids, but not everything's about kids. God damn it! Like it.
Yeah. You know what? Fuck the kids. No, I'm just kidding.
We're keeping that.
Merry Christmas.
Oh,
fuck the kids.
Oh my god. Oh god. Yes, exactly.
But also, I would also argue that National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, Brandon, that's a Christmas movie, right? Mm-hmm. Wouldn't you say there's some moments of violence in that? I mean, for God's sakes, a girl's eyes get frozen while they're open. That moment freaked me out more than anything that's in Die Hard.
Yeah, and let's be honest, like, Die Hard is not that violent. There's a lot of things that you could explain to kids that, like, should or shouldn't do things like that, and that's just down to your parenting. Don't blame the movie. This is a movie that I feel like it should be for the whole family. It's got some language, it's got some blood. That's life.
It's life. It's life. Get over it, kid. You might get stabbed.
Yeah. That's got
Someone
dark.
might say fuck in front of you, you know? Get over it. Merry Christmas. Get over it.
Exactly.
If anything, Die Hard is a great Christmas movie for kids because it toughens them up and makes them prepared for any obstacles life might throw at them.
Okay.
I'm going to make such a good mom one day. I'm going to be so good at parenting.
Oh my God.
Oh boy.
Well, Jess, we're winding down here. It's like you said, I think we're just right. But hey, listeners, you may not agree, you may not like what we're saying, but we're not saying don't give us your argument. We would love to hear what you have to say. What are your counterpoints? What are your points in what you think designates a Christmas movie or not a Christmas movie? I would love to continue this debate, but right now this is something that Jess and I didn't debate with one another, but as a team, we both agree and provided different rhymes and reasons. I mean, even just a few of these could be why, but you just heard a whole podcast on why.
Yeah, come at us. Argue with it. Let's go. Let's go.
So, Jess, would you like drum roll on who our winner of the $20 Amazon gift card is?
Yes, the moment we've all been waiting for. The winner of the social media gift card raffle is... Tap, 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 tap.
Haley B.
Yay! Yay! Money for you!
Congrats. Thank you so much for sharing on social media. Haley also left us a review. She says, "Hello, I am brand new to your podcast, and I just wanted to say I think your episode topics are great, unique, and interesting, such as episodes on shows that ended too soon / not soon enough. I think a lot of entertainment podcasts get caught up covering the same kind of content as everyone else, but I think your episode topics are out of the box, which is what I like." Thank you so much, Haley. We appreciate those kind words, and we hope to continue that trend going forward into 2019 with some other topics. So please feel free, whether it's yourself or maybe any other friends or loved ones that listen to the podcast, give us a shout out on entertainmentbuffet@gmail.com or at entertainbuffet on Twitter. Give us some suggestion topics. What do you guys feel that other entertainment podcasts aren't covering enough of? What do you want to hear about? Jess, we also have a $30 Amazon gift card.
The big money bags. The winner of the review raffle is... Drumroll, tap, 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 tap.
Crush Galaxy.
Yay!
Yeah.
Yay! You get money too. Everyone gets money, unless you didn't partake. Then you didn't get anything. Yay! Christmas, holidays.
Thank you so much, Cole Rush, who left this review. This was an old review for about a year ago that says, "Entertainment Buffet is a great time. Bring topics to the table that I often debate with my friends. Super fun podcast." Wow, another review about our topics. Yes.
Awesome.
Awesome, guys. Thank you so much.
We'll be in touch with you guys about how we're going to give you those cards. In the meantime, thank you so much for taking part in our raffle.
Absolutely. Jess, where can they find you on the social medias?
On Instagram and Twitter, I am at Jess Kwazz.
And on Instagram and Twitter, I am at The Pros, TheProze. And Entertainment Buffet on Instagram is at Entertainment Buffet. on Twitter at Entertain Buffet. We're also on Facebook, entertainmentbuffet.com, as well as the Gmail. I want to hear your responses to our topic debate today on Die Hard being a Christmas movie. What are your thoughts? We'll read them on the next podcast. Entertainmentbuffet at gmail.com. And yeah, thank you so much for listening to all of our episodes in 2018. Please also check out Friends of the Show Movie Trailer Trash, hosted by Charlie and Bethany Duber. Awesome show over there, as well as Jeremy Meyer with the Shelved Podcast. Yeah, many awesome things going on those podcasts too. So give them a listen and rate, review their stuff too. We all appreciate it in the podcast family when you show us your appreciation by just giving us a little review and rate us. So, Jess, anything you like to say to close out 2018 before we get into 2019?
Let's just end this year. It's been a time. Let's just stop it.
Yeah.
Let's stop it.
It has
move on.
Yeah. It's certainly been an interesting year, and we can't wait. We're going to be doing some reformatting of the podcast, adding some segments, retooling it a bit, and we're excited, guys.
Yes, there's more to come in 2019. We are taking a break for the holidays, but we will be back after the new year. In the meantime, I hope you all have an awesome holiday season and a fun, fantastic New Year's Eve.
Yes. Go watch Die Hard. Go watch Jingle All the Way. All the classic Christmas movies. Enjoy time watching those. And go listen to our old episodes before we start throwing some new ones at you.
Yeah, you'll have a few weeks. Why not? Why not go stroll down memory lane with your favorite Entertainment Buffet duo?
Exactly. All right, Jess. All right, listeners. I think it's about time we bid you adieu. Merry Christmas. And yippee-ki-yay, motherfuckers.
Do you really think you have a chance against us, Mr. Cowboy?
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.